Advanced Higher, hope you're all well. I thought we would start off by me explaining basically what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks when we're working from home and what's going to happen with the prelim. First thing I just want to re-emphasize is the fact that there will be nothing new in the prelim, so there's nothing that we haven't already covered in class in the prelim. So everything, all the questions in the prelim are stuff that we've already done. So to help you kind of get your heads around what we've already done and what you need to do and what you need to study, what I thought I would do is I've made a list of all the possible topics that can come up in the prelim, and I'll share this document with you. And what I want you to do is to have a look through this and try and pick the areas that you think you need to study a bit more, pick the areas that you think that you might be more interested in so that you can maybe focus on them, and try and hopefully get a good idea and a bit more confidence about what we're going to do. You'll note that on this document some of the topics are in italics and some are in plain text, and once again, much like the illustrative areas, I've put the ones in italics that could either be an essay question or a source question, and the ones in plain text can only be source questions. So the ones in italics are the ones that you really have to study, because if they come up as a source question, then you're going to have to answer something on it. If they come up as just an essay question, then you can avoid it because you only need to pick 2 out of the 5 essay questions. So just to briefly go through the various aspects, there's not a huge number. You see there's basically only 5 or 6, depending on how you want to break it up, different kind of topic areas. So the first one is the kind of situation in the 1930s. It's called the State of the Nation in 1939. So that looks at social inequality and the economy and the effects of unemployment. So it's basically looking at what life was like in the 1930s for people in Britain. Then the next one is preparations for war. So that was kind of looking at the situation in the 1930s and into the start of the war. So how Britain was prepared, how much they were prepared in terms of their economy, in terms of the armed forces, and in terms of civil defence. The next area is wartime government, and there's basically 2 aspects of that. One of them is the reasons for the fall of Chamberlain, and the other one is the role that Churchill played and how effective he was during the war. Then we have the kind of 3 main kind of wartime campaigns that we looked at. So the first one is the reasons why Germany did not invade in 1940, which is kind of to do with the Battle of Britain and all those kind of aspects. Then the Battle of the Atlantic, so why Britain and the Allies won the Battle of the Atlantic. And finally, the bombing campaign and how effective it was. Then there's the kind of separate section on the British Army itself. And finally, the thing that we looked at when we were last in class, which is the British economy. So conscription, the impact of the war on the economy, industry and agriculture, and the extent to which the British economy did well or did not do well during the war. So that's what we're going to go over. I'm going to put some brief revision videos for each of these topics and some reading, because obviously, as you know, a huge part of the advanced higher is that you're doing your own reading. I think that while home learning doesn't have many advantages, one of the advantages for advanced higher will hopefully be that you'll be able to take advantage of this to do some of your own home learning. So along with this, I'll put up a first lesson about the state of the nation in 1939, which is what I'd like you to have a look at today.